will the virtuous Sangha, out of compassion for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tận thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh, tin chuyên diệu pháp luân nhau đạo hạ môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạt lạc, tốc chương vô sanh. How much of the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one. Nam mô Sa Đan Thổ Sư Chế Đô Ye Ở La Hờ Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Tát Tát Tha Tô Ya Đa Ya La Ha Đế Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma, 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai qian wan jie nan zao yu. 我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Huineng, Venerable YongHua, Venerable Lefeng people, and all good knowing advisors, Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、六祖师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知识，阿弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Hòa Lục Tổ, kính thưa Hòa Thượng Thiện Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Today is the last day of February 2021. Thank you all for coming to join us to continue investigating a sixth Patriarch Sutra. We are on the chapter next to the last chapter on the sutra. So soon we have to find something else to do. Let's see. Okay. The slide is slide 50. The context is, let's read the sutra text again to reorient ourselves. It is not inside, outside, or in the middle. It is not produced or destroyed. The nature mark is thus. It permanently dwells and does not change. It is called the way.
不在中间及其内外，不生不灭，性相如如，常住不迁，名之曰道。
Okay, I think the Patriarch is referring to the real mind, the true mind that we all have. This true mind here is something we have, that we all possess, all living beings possesses, okay? It is, he says, it's not inside or outside or in the middle. This is a reasoning that the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, explained to us. This mind here, you want to look for this true mind of yours. Can you shine a light inside? Is it inside? And the Buddha demonstrated that it's not inside. Is it outside? The Buddha also demonstrated in the Shrangama Sutra, the Bible about Chan meditation. It's not outside either. And what about in between? If not outside, not inside, then maybe it's in between or in the middle. And the Buddha also showed that, uses logic to prove that it's not in the middle either. Right? So this is from the Buddha's teachings. This mind here of yours, this true mind here of yours, and your children, it is not produced nor destroyed. What does it mean it's not produced or destroyed? Meaning this mind here wasn't created by the Creator. Okay? Produced meaning that this true mind here of yours, someone must have created it? Not at all. No one created this mind. No one at all. And because it wasn't created, therefore it cannot be destroyed. Because if something is produced, is created, then it can be destroyed. Yes or no? Can you think of a pair of things where something is produced and then therefore it can be destroyed or it will eventually be destroyed? This body of ours, for example, was born. Yes, we were born. And eventually, you will also come to an end of this body, so it will be destroyed. All right? Anything that is produced, anything that arises, that is born, will be perished, will be destroyed, will be extinct, bar none. Questions or comments? Okay? So in particular, the happiness that you seek, that people seek and make it a point to pursue, like as stated in the U.S. Constitution, we are entitled, we have the unalienable right to pursue happiness, right? To seek and pursue happiness. Yes, you have the right, but the Constitution of the United States doesn't explain to you that once you find that happiness, it will be destroyed, either by you or by the one that makes you happy. The thing that makes you happy will destroy it. Questions or comments? Huh? No questions, no comments? You all know this already? Okay. This is Buddhist wisdom. This is very profound Buddhist wisdom that's very hard for ordinary people to come to terms with. Okay? Anything that you can think of has a lifespan. And the only exception is this true mind of ours. Meaning this true thing that you have, the real deal you have, that you didn't know about. The non-Buddhists don't know about it. They refute it. Okay. They don't want to recognize it. Okay. It's like you have a treasure and they have a treasure and they refuse to acknowledge it, to recognize it, to utilize it. So the Buddha has story where the son there's a story of an elder who is very rich, very respected, and he has a son who he adores, and he dotes on, and the son decides to run away from home. He says, "I'm not happy at home. I need to look for my happiness, look for my own wealth." So the dad, loving his son so much, would not do anything against his will. So the dad, the rich elder, sue a priceless pearl in the son's inside cloth. So, for Daniel here, I would imagine would be the thing in the front of the shirt here. He's sewn a priceless pearl into the son's clothing, and so the son ran away. Okay, and he traveled looking for a treasure, looking for something of value, and finally he couldn't find anything, so he came home dejected. And so the dad says, "Why are you unhappy?" He says, "I'm unhappy because I could not find anything of value in my life." So the dad opened the clothes. Good thing the son didn't throw the clothes and the shirt away. And showed him the pearl. Said, "You always have this treasure with you." You have it. You just didn't know you have it. Similarly, our Father, the Buddha, or God, if you want to call him God, he doesn't mind. Allah, it's okay, son. Okay? Call me Ray, Jack. What's in a name? A rose would still smell the same. Okay? So, same thing. Our Father, our Creator, not the Creator. We can't call him Creator because the Buddha did not create us. Okay? We created ourselves, by the way. Someone is shaking his head. Sacrilege. There is Genesis for the world, but there is no creation of mankind. We create ourselves by creating the karmas that make us, turn us into human beings. Agree or disagree? That's the Buddhist teaching. Okay? No one created you. No one created us. It's our own karmas that created us. Okay? Even the Buddha did not create us. The Buddha cannot create us. Okay? The Buddha creates happiness. He does not create misery. We are misery. Okay? Are we all awake? Okay, so this mind here, is what our Father gave us, the Buddha gave us. Okay, so we share the same true mind as the Buddha. It's the same as the Buddha's mind. Right? And that Buddha's mind was not created, was never produced. And that's why it will never be destroyed. Okay? And this mark, the characteristics that are observable of this true mind is called thus, thus. That's the only mark. Isn't that interesting? You know, like when we talk about the Bodhisattva, okay, years ago, a few thousand years ago, a Bodhisattva would be dark-skinned. Yes? Because he happened to be in India. Yes? That's a mark. So in the Indians look at bodhisattvas as dark-skinned people. And then Buddhism moved from India to China, and all of a sudden, bodhisattvas became yellow-skinned. Okay? And then it moved to Vietnam. To the US. Now, true bodhisattvas has got to be Mexican. Not funny, huh? What happened to the white privileged boy? Anyway, so anything that is produced or destroyed will have a mark, right? Anything that we can see would have a mark. So what is the mark of this true mind here? The mark is called thus thus, ru ru in Chinese. Okay, what is thus thus? It permanently dwells and does not change. That's why it's called thus thus. Okay, this is very, very Buddhist. Okay, it's nothing to understand. Just listen to it, and one day, okay, you will also see your true mind. You will find out yourself is neither inside nor outside, nor in the middle, in between. It's not. Okay? It's not produced. It was never produced. It's always been there. Always. And because it's always been there, will always be there. Will never change. All right? That thing is unchanging. All right? And its nature is thus, thus. It's thus, because it permanently dwells. What does it mean, permanently dwells? And it does not change. What does permanently dwells means? Yes, I agree.
It's always there.
Why? If it's always there, but he used the word permanently dwells. You say there, it is there. This the sixth patriarch says it dwells. Yes, Christian.
Could it mean that it has always existed?
Is what?
Has always existed? That dwells, existed always?
It has always existed.
Has always existed. Ah, thank you. Translation. What happened in my Christian translation? Translator. Huh? Okay. She's having a midday nap, I guess. Okay, has always existed. If it has always existed, why does it have to dwell anywhere? What does dwell invoke in your mind? Yes, Green. Dwelling.
It's a mark. It makes me think of there's a mark there.
It dwells.
Yeah, dwell as in there's a mark. It dwells. It's a thing. A thing.
It dwells.
Yeah,
Like
a thing's dwells.
you dwell in Altadena.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there, but that means there has to be a place to be there. And I think he's describing it as a mark for people who don't understand it. So he's putting a mark on something that's markless so that you can understand it.
Okay, that sounds good. Next. I'm in a good mood today. I'm not going to put you down. Anyone else? Why dwelling? Do you remember these sages, this great sage called, a great patriarch called Huineng? He uses his words very carefully. There's a reason why he uses the word dwells and not is there or stays or whatever. Why? Anyone? Yes, Orange.
It invokes in my mind that it occupies a space.
Occupies a space, okay. Yeah. Why not? He sits there. Live.
Lives.
Okay. It has a sitting there. He sits there. He dwells there. He stays there. He lives there. Okay. But why dwell? He lives there. Why does he need to live there? It's so worldly. I live in Beverly Hills. No, I don't. I mean, for example, I wish I could live in Beverly Hills. But for now, I'm happy. I have a place to live. I'm not homeless. Yes, Orange. Yes, Green.
Well, if it was to live, that means it would have to be alive, and it would have to be a living being. And
So the Buddha is not alive.
you said it was never created. So if it was never created, I don't think it could be considered to be alive.
So he's not alive. Okay, I'm game. Okay, he's dead.
I wouldn't say it's dead either, because if it was never created, it could never be extinguished.
So it's neither dead or alive. So what is he then?
Something like that.
Ah, I know. He's on the train from Busan. Zombie. The famous movie. Don't you guys watch it? Huh? Last Train to Busan. No? The Koreans are not even laughing. I was making Korean joke and they're not even laughing. No Korean is laughing. So why dwell? I don't understand. Yes, Green.
Yeah, I didn't finish. So I wouldn't say it lives. If it stays, if it says stays, that would mean that it doesn't move, which is not true either, because has the ability to move as well. And if it dwells, it means it's in a place, but it also has the ability to move a little more freely. It's a bit more open than lives and stays. But that's about all I can really say.
Yes, anyone? Yes, girlfriend.
Said it. He said it always had existed. So, darling, Jew in here for me, it just simply means existed. So it's ambiguous. It could be anywhere or nowhere, but it's just darling somewhere, existed somewhere. That's all. So it doesn't necessarily have a mark because you can't exactly pinpoint where exactly it is or when it is. Darling at.
I think you switch to Christianity. Yes, orange.
Is this a reference to something like constant samadhi?
Constant samadhi? Original. It's not wrong. It's very good. It is profound. At the same time, it is so logical. Let me explain to you. Okay. Where do you dwell, ma'am? Yes, what do you dwell? Yes, where she currently is. It's so Filipino. Like, is it fair to say you dwell in Long Beach? Mm-hmm. How about you, ma'am? Where do you dwell? Rosemead? Huh? You dwell near the border? Huh? So, dwelling here indicates a position, a location, right? And this location is permanent. This location does not change. He'll never move. All right? So, it has a connotation that when this lady here says, I dwell near a trader's house. You need translation too? I always thought it's my ears or something. But apparently this old lady here also needs hearing aids. The trader's house, a few houses away from you. My. Do we easily forget? Out of sight, out of mind. So when you say I reside, I dwell, meaning that you can find me there. Yes? You can find me near the border. You can find me in the Midwest. You can find me in the Middle East. Okay? Do you say, do I dwell in my M1 tank? Of course not. Right? I sleep in M1 tank, but I don't dwell in M1 tank. Okay? So, dwelling here refers to the fact that he stays somewhere that you can find. You can go there and find him. And he will never move. He will never change domicile. Huh? Isn't that interesting? The concept is he's there. You can always find him there. Yes? You can always find him. He will never move away from that. That's the concept of dwelling. You know where to find him. If I told you the address, you'll be able to find him. Yes? That's dwelling. Okay? So what is dwell? That will never change. Whether it's now or a million more lifetimes, or you gain a human body again, it's still the same place. If you move to Canada, and my goodness, why would you want to move to Canada? But that's besides the point. You move to Canada, you always can find him. Wherever you are, you can find him. He dwells at the same place. All right? So what is it? Where is this place? That will never change. In Busan, what else? It's a Korean joke. You Americans don't understand. That's what the Buddhists are in Busan. Anyway, so he dwells there because you can always find him there. Okay, where can you find him? Where? Where can you find him? Yeah?
Everywhere.
He dwells everywhere?
Yes. Last week you asked the old monk, he said, is the Buddha nature in the bell? And he said, no, it's Dharma nature. And then you said, no, everything is the Buddha nature. So technically the Buddha dwells everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. When you talk about you permanently dwells, meaning that he will never move, okay? That he will never change address, then it's got to be one address in this universe where it will never change. Okay? That is, which address is that? Anyone knows? 1600 Pennsylvania. No? How about number 1? Dharma Realm Road. The address, let me tell you, please make a note of it. 1, Dharma Realm Boulevard. Dharma Realm, DR 90121. The only way that he can dwell there permanently is he dwells. That's right, right there. He is right there. The universe. All right? Well, I think we made our point. Moving on. 52, Sutra text. Xue Jin said, how does your explanation of non-production and non-extinction differ from that of other religions? A good question.
简曰：师说不生不灭，何以外道？
Chu Mountain has a question.
Musang asks, like many others, I wish to be happy, but I feel like I am chasing after something which has no form. I ask myself, maybe I am rather unhappy. If I keep asking myself that question and confirm that I am not unhappy, would that help me finding happiness? I mean, if I could find out there's nothing bad, would that make me happy?
So if he says, if I contemplate, I'm not unhappy, then it will help him find happiness? Is that the logic?
Yes, it appears so.
I'm afraid I don't understand the logic. No, you only intellectualizing happiness. Happiness to this person seems to be that I feel happy or I know happiness. Since I cannot find it, happiness, I cannot feel happy, then let me look for something somewhere where I'm not unhappy. Okay, which is also another intellectual concept. Happiness seems to be an intellectual concept, so the opposite of that intellectual concept is just another intellectual concept called non-happiness. Okay? So, no, stop playing with your games. I mean your mind. Playing with your mind. No. Happiness is where you are. Okay? So all I can say is that since I haven't really found happiness yet, that's why I'm still here. Because this is so much suffering. I'm kidding. It's such a pleasure to be here investigating the sutra with all of you special people. No one buys it either. I told you, it's a lot of suffering for me. Let me put it simply for this person, okay? If you practice Mahayana, you will find happiness. You won't be sorry. That's all I can say, okay? So, how do you know? How can you be sure? Why do I keep on asking myself questions I cannot answer? Because it's true. Okay? Yes, Black.
Mô Phật và Thầy, không biết có câu hỏi này không biết có nghe được không? Thầy, bây giờ mình muốn hạnh phúc thì mình đi tìm một cái Phật tánh của mình mới được có hạnh phúc. Rồi mà tìm những cái mà hạnh phúc ở ta bà này đó là không có được hạnh phúc đâu.
I like it. Translation.
Master, I think that if you want to look for happiness, you have to look for your Buddha nature. And then if you stay in this Saha world, you cannot find happiness.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good answer. Let me elaborate for you. Here's actual the pursuit of happiness. You're looking for happiness. You're looking to be happier. Is that fair to say that? Happiness is by degrees. Okay? The happiness, as you get closer to it, okay, you feel happier. And then once you get to that place where you feel happier, you realize there's something happier. You understand my point? You set at the target. You say, I want to go to Long Beach. Okay, that's where I will find myself happy, near the ocean. Okay, you go near, and as you get closer to that, you realize, wow, this is true. I'm happier. Well, actually, there's even another place where I can be happier. So the search continues. That's what you find. Whatever you're looking for, okay, you will find that. You will find it, and then when you get there, you say, wow, there's something else that's better. Guaranteed. This is a process. Yes, Blue.
I believe that happiness is not only a condition unto itself, it is also the absence of the stresses and suffering you go through. So when that is absent, you probably are in a state of happiness.
Yeah. Again, it's correct. It's by degrees again. Okay? It's like you zoom in. Think of this process as a zooming process. You zoom in, you see from afar, you only see so much. So you zoom in, you get closer, and you realize, oh, there's more. And you keep on zooming and zooming and zooming. That's the process. It's an iterative process. Like the pursuit of happiness is iterative. You keep looking and looking and looking. What happens is that people look at the wrong places and they stop too soon. That's the problem with ordinary people. Same thing with this person from Korea. She said, I'm looking for happiness, but I cannot find it. Not quite. Let me change the thinking for this person a little bit. Okay? I would look for happiness, okay, and be prepared to look for something better. So far, so good? There's always something better once you get there. Right? There's better Christian boyfriend. Agree?
Buddhist boyfriend.
Oh, ouch, it hurts. This Buddhist lady dates a Christian boyfriend. So she says she's thinking of switching or converting him to Buddhism.
I never dated one, Master.
Okay, here's what happens. Let me tell you. And this is true whether you Buddhist or Christian or a monk or a lay person. It's the same thing. All these people, like us, monks like us, we think we get there, we'll be happy, and then we realize it's something better. Same as you. So this happiness here is that, let me interpret it, express it in layman terms for you. May I? Okay. Let me give you the example of, let's stay away from love because it's too controversial. Okay? Or politics. I lose a lot of disciples discussing politics the past few months. Most of them are, never mind. My point here is that, let's say you dream to live in a nice city like Rosemead, California. Never mind. No one knows where Rosemead is. What about Beverly Hills? Huh? Okay. So you dream of having this house here, and you eventually save money, and you're able to buy this house, and you're so excited. It's the house of your dream. Okay? Substitute as the car of your dream. Let's say a Tesla. Oh, yeah. Let's set our goals low a little bit. Okay? My point here is that it's so exciting when you don't have it. But when you have it, the excitement dies. Won't be long before it dies. And it decreases in intensity. Yes or no? Just like my monks, they were so excited when they first become monks. And then once they get to know me, they say, oh my God, is what I'm going to become like him? And that's where reality sets in. Okay? So it's the same thing. It's exciting because you don't have it. Once you have it, it loses luster. Okay? But have no worries. Because once you get there, okay? For most of us, normal people, we look for something better. We say, now I know this is not enough. I want more than this. Let me go to love, for example. May I? This is very personal. I'm not sure you can identify with this, but let me try this on you. Let's say you find a person that you fell head over heels for, and this person is, I've seen such a person in the Midwest. Blonde, blue eyes, and all those things. Okay? And you meet them, you fall in love, you marry them. A wonderful, wonderful thing. Okay? And then what happens? Then you realize that it's still not enough. No one? That's when you become a monk. No. I take it back. No. At first, it's like this excitement, right? And it's wonderful. And then you say, excitement has another dimension. Right? It's not just the looks. It's not just the money. It's not just the kimchi. It's also the smile. Also the brains. Also the heart. I was afraid I point the wrong side. The Christian is on this side, Buddhist on this side. My Christian dictionary is here. Any questions or comments, Mr. Christian? No. Yes, question.
우리 모든 인간은 다 행복을 찾고 그러는데 최상의 행복은 찾을 수가 없습니다. 최상의 행복을 얻으려면은 그거를 버리면 됩니다. 그러면은 대자유가 옵니다. 그럼 더 이상 행복이라는 얘기를 안 할 겁니다.
All human beings always seek for happiness. I believe there's no best happiness in this world. You can't find that happiness. The things you need to do is you need to let it go. When you let it go, you'll find the true happiness with the freedom.
I agree, but let me explain this to you. And I'm going to explain it in a way that it's different from the way the Buddhists explain it to you. because which I don't necessarily agree with them. Okay? This is what I propose for you. Okay. We look for happiness. We all do. I'm looking for happiness. I don't know about you. Sang-wook, do you look for happiness? He says, let me think. Okay, let's find a real Korean person. Jew Mountain Temple, any one of you looking for happiness? Yes, okay, thank you. Okay, 2, 3, 4. Okay, one is enough. Okay, here's what I propose to you. We look for happiness. We look for something that makes us happy. We find that person or that thing. It happens to me repeatedly. I thought money will make me happy, or whatever you fill in the blanks yourself. Okay, you find it and you're happy. It makes us happy, yes. And the proof is that once you found it and you lose that, you'll be very unhappy. Most of us, normal people. Not that Sang-wook person there. She says, I'm so happy, why I need to look? My point here is that the happiness will decrease because that's natural. And what I'm trying to tell you is that don't abandon that. You keep looking at that, and you will discover other dimensions that will make you happy. Like you find that, like love, for example, you first are attracted to each other physically, to whatever, okay? And then you find other dimensions that will make the love or the relationship grow and get better and better and better. Okay? That's my version of the pursuit of happiness. That's a French version, by the way. Yes. Green.
Yeah, Master, I definitely have a problem, getting excited for things. Like, I had this new software I wanted to get, and I was really excited about it. And then when I got it, it was good. But then I'm happy when, when the excitement dies down, because then I can focus more. Because before that, it's just too energized. Is there a way I can, fix that initial energy that's too energized and too excited about it?
Yeah. The point here is that the happiness has more dimensions as you have it. Okay? The way people explain is that I'm happy, now I have to abandon that. I disagree with that. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to love. Okay? But be prepared to add more dimensions to it. That's what makes your life richer, more meaningful. No? Okay. It's okay. It's normal to look for happiness. And in Buddhism, if you happen to believe in Buddhism, which requires the word belief there is very important. If you have faith, then you'll be able to find that perfect happiness, that true happiness, a lot quicker. It's not something you can understand. It's something you must have faith in. That faith here will help you discover it, find it a lot quicker. Yes, sir. Excuse me, Blue.
It seems to me that then happiness and the pursuit of emptiness could be enjoined. You're happy without searching for a continuation of happiness. Your happiness with your position and your outlook, learning as much as you can about emptiness.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. All those are different dimensions of happiness. Okay, so the pursuit of happiness is part of life, and it's natural. And along the way, if you experience both happiness and unhappiness, that's just its life. Okay, and if you have faith in your good new advisor, you will find that longer lasting, that permanent happiness, like a lot of people have already. Okay, and to me, you should feel free to experiment and try different things. It's perfectly okay. It enriches the experience. That's all. When I was younger, I used to think that I wasted my time, my life. I didn't discover Buddhism until I was at the age of 39. Okay? Lived half of my life. And at the age of 39, I discovered my master's Buddhism, Master Hsuan Buddhism. For some reason, I was lucky to follow those things. I was told myself was looking for happiness in all various places. Okay, and I found them. I made them temporarily happy, and I say, "Oh, that's got to be something else, and got to be something else, got to be something else." Okay, so at first I thought I wasted half of my life, and I realized now, looking back, you get so sentimental, nostalgic, and you realize that's part of the rich experience of life. Okay? It makes you be able to identify with the people that I came in contact with the first 39 years of my life. So I know how to talk to them. I know what they're going through. Some of them are Catholic. And still are. Okay? So, what I'm trying to tell you is happiness to me, okay, personally, is embracing. Please listen to me carefully. The person in Korea asked me the question. Happiness, true happiness, is to be able to embrace that good feelings as well as the bad feelings. That's happiness. Don't reject anything. Because to me, when the spiritual leaders, the spiritual people, the religious people said, they say, I'm advanced, I'm very wise, everything is empty anyway. I say, baloney. Not to me. Okay. Yeah. Yes, there's a...
Yesterday, you talked about the bodhisattva of the second ground, I think it was, who experienced happiness. Or was it the first ground? I don't remember. But, so you're saying that they can be happy even when they embrace the bad, even when they feel bad, they can still be happy?
Yeah. Yeah. The happiness does not depend on outside. Okay? Anyway, don't try to understand too much. It's not. It's meant for you to discover for yourself. Do not trust anyone who tries to explain to you how to be happy. They're trying to sell you something. That's the truth. All the monks and nuns I listen to who try to teach you how to be happy are after your money. I tried. It didn't work. That's why I gave up. Yes. Buddhist girlfriend.
So, talking about trying to identify with people and creation, Daniel is trying to identify with people, but for some reason, he cannot see evil in people. So therefore, he cannot help his clients. Could you help him to be able to see evil in people so that he can identify with people?
That's a good
Can
question.
we have something to offer him from our Buddhist?
That's a real good question. Let
perspective?
me translate for you. Because she tends to be wordy. He says, my future Buddhist boyfriend he cannot find evil in people at all. The most evil person he meets, he still sees no evil. Am I correct? Okay. So how can she change him? Typical women trying to change men. I have a solution for you. You want the truth or you want the French version? French version is oui, oui. That's all you need to know, oui, oui. Truth is that you can't change us. Okay? Let me give you a few more details. The reason that your presently Catholic boyfriend does not see evil in people is because he's not hurt yet. It's something you know, all you have to do is hurt him. Now the Koreans are laughing. Stop picking on the American Christians. Agree, disagree? Yes.
I don't know. I cannot disagree. I think.
I disagree too. You haven't met real evil people yet because evil people harm others. That's why. We call them evil because they really harm you. They inflict a lot of pain on you. Then you recognize what evil is. Until that happens, you don't know what evil is yet. Okay? Evil is to inflict pain and suffering and then eventually destroy you, to tear your heart out slowly. All right? So there's no hurry. Take your time. Anyone agree or disagrees? Yes. And go ahead.
But his problem is not seeing evil in, not about himself suffering. You could demonstrate it right in front right now. People would be fighting and bleeding, and he doesn't see it. All he sees is, people are happily right in your church. That's his problem. So he cannot go stop the situation in time. That's his problem.
I hate to rub it into her, but you're too nice. Stop being so nice. Oh, seriously, it's very easy. You want to make him suffer? Starve him. I remember one of my Xienan, when she was a lay person in Los Angeles, and we talked her into doing a fast. Okay? And she was doing fine until day number 7 or 8. And she became so hungry. Okay? She was so hungry. Remember Xienan? She can, no, she doesn't. Stop lying that you're breaking precepts. You're so hungry that after lunch, I didn't brush my teeth. And we were having food, and you could smell on your lips. I didn't wash my lips, wipe my lips, so I walked in the Buddha hall while she was there hiding by herself, okay? And I could swear to you, she could smell food on my clothes, on my lips and my mouth and everything. So I walked by her and stood in front of her and talked to her. Okay? And then she says, all I want right now is Xienan, what do you remember? What did you want? I will never forget this. She looked at me serious, in all seriousness in my eyes, and she says, all I want right now is a banana. Of all the food in the world, this woman here only craved for a banana. And she says, I pay you $100 for a banana. Okay? Yeah. And you need to look at people's weakness, and that's why you hurt them. To help them discover evil quicker. Never mind. Can we go back to the Dharma, please? I have a student in Van Nuys he's not feeling well, and he's complaining right now. This monkey keeps on digressing from the sutra. Yes, Jewel Mountain, comment.
Venerable Shenan says that was on day 3, not day 7.
Day 3, well, maybe day 3. Yeah. But, and then what happened day 4? You don't remember, do you? I ate a banana for lunch and came and talked to her. You remember that? No, you don't. Okay. Can we move on with the Dharma, please? Okay. Don't worry. Keep looking for happiness. And and follow the instructions of the instructions at the temple, and you will find it. Okay, stop intellectualizing it. Is my answer. Okay, just follow it. Okay, and what you find out is, my point is that you follow the instructions. Actually, it gets more interesting. It gets more fun. It gets more rewarding. Okay, that is the same thing. Okay, that food there tastes better. The same food tastes better because you change, not because the food changes. Okay, because you become a better person naturally. All right. All right. Commentary on slide 53. How does this explanation of production extinction differ from the non-Buddhists? Okay? 54, Sutra text. The Master answered, as non-production and non-extinction are explained by other religions, extinction ends production, and production reveals extinction.
诗曰：外道所说不生不灭者，将灭止生，以生显灭。
Okay. Commentary in 55. Again, the Buddhists, the way we phrase it for you here is a little bit literary, production and extinction. Namely, you can think of it as birth and death. Put it simply, okay? Birth and death. It's more nicely used words vocabularies are production and extinction. That's all. All right? So the Master says, the other religions, it's successive, meaning that one is correlated to the other, meaning that extinction puts an end to production, meaning death puts an end to birth, and production reveals extinction, meaning that when you have birth, then you will eventually see decays and death. That's how other religions explain it. Next, 56, Sutra text. Their extinction is not extinction, and what they call production is not production. My explanation of non-production, non-extinction is this.
灭犹不灭，生说不生，我说不生不灭者。
Commentary on slide 57. He says that they don't quite understand these words, extinction and production. Okay? Their understanding of extinction and production are too shallow. Okay? It's not complete. Okay? And that's why their extinction is actually not extinction. Okay? It's not the whole deal. And what their non-production is actually not the way they think. Okay? And in fact, my explanation is as follows. 58, Sutra text. Originally, there was no production. Now there is no extinction. For this reason, my explanation differs from that of other religions.
本自无生，今亦不灭，所以不同外道。
Commentary in 59. He says, the truth is that originally there was no production whatsoever. And because of that, now there's no extinction. all right? And that's why what mind is different. Care to elaborate on this, anyone? Okay, so no one gets it either. Okay. Yes.
So it's similar to the first slide you were talking about with the dwelling, the thus. Can I just ask this question though? So he was saying that the other religions believe in production and extinction, but he's saying that there was originally never production, nor was there ever going to be extinction because it doesn't exist. Is that? Did I get that right?
Here's what happened. Here's what the Venerable Sixth Patriarch is trying to tell you. It's so so simple, and this is why it's very easy to miss the point here. It's so eloquent, it's so clever, and yet it's so deceptively profound. Okay, he says, here's what happened to the non-Buddhist. Their concept of extinction is dependent on the concept of production. Okay? Meaning that they see something being born, and then eventually that thing disappearing or dying or getting destroyed. So that's why they define it as birth or production or extinction or death or destruction. They observe it through observation, right? What I'm talking about, production and extinction, the Sixth Patriarch says, is that there's no production, and that's why there's no extinction. It's nothing whatsoever. Yes.
So, like the other religions will be believing in duality, well, he stressing non-duality.
That's right. Precisely. He says that you guys, what you guys talking about, birth and death, production and extinction, are basically dual things. They are duality. They coexist. Okay? And that is just observable phenomena. The Buddhist production and extinction that we know are based on non-production and non-extinction. Yes, Blue.
So let's pretend that we have a tree, right? The tree is gonna there's gonna be a production of the tree by you planting a seed, and then the tree is born, right? Then the tree is gonna die. What happens to the tree after it dies?
Becomes firewood.
And what will happen to the firewood after it's consumed by the fire? Where does it go?
It gets sold.
And then it remains into ashes. Where do the ashes go? So that's linear to me. Like, it's still production of the tree. It stops its leaves and it dies. And after it dies, nothing happens after it dies, in my own opinion.
Yeah, we explain that way to the Catholics. But for the true Buddhists, we say there's no production, there's no extinction.
But that's saying that the tree never existed.
And please don't tell the Catholics.
But doesn't it mean that the tree never existed if there's no production and no extinction?
None.
So that means the tree never existed then.
Translation again? The last sentence only. He gets excited, and that's when I can't hear him anymore. Yeah?
He said then that means the tree never exists.
It exists and yet not exists. Do you get it? Can someone explain to me a tree exists and yet does not exist? Huh? Yes. Green.
It exists because it's a form, but it doesn't exist because it's just a mark, and it's not the true Buddha nature.
Yes, sir.
모든 물체는 우리 인간도 그렇고 이 건물도 그렇고 모든 물체는 고정되지 않습니다. 꼭 언젠가 사라집니다. 그러나 한 가지 우리가 갖고 있는 불성은 기독교 말하는 성령은 영원한 겁니다. 거기서 모든 것이 다 이루어집니다.
All living beings and things are not fixed. I believe everything disappears eventually. However, Buddha nature is permanent.
You all understand it, but anyone else who would like to comment? The San Jose people are not going to touch this. And said, yes, Blue.
Things in terms of infinity, then it doesn't exist because the time that the tree was there was so minimal that it just doesn't exist.
There's some profound meaning somewhere there in the infinity timeline. Yes, Blue.
I cannot disagree with Tuha because it still existed at one point in time in the timeline. Even though if it's infinite, it goes with negative to positive infinity. There's still a time when that tree existed, so that doesn't mean it never existed because it existed at one time and point.
Yes,
So
it's
my
true.
question, so I understand, for example, I do understand the weird incarnation about people that, or the souls or whatever you guys call it, that goes into the weird incarnation. That I could see circular, but a tree dying, I don't see it as circular. Or I don't see it as infinite or because it's just one point in time, and that was my point. That
Okay, very good. Let me explain to this in terms of the Buddhists and the non-Buddhists. May I? For us, the Buddhists have a lot of wisdom. So we talk to each other and we tell there's no production, no extinction. Okay? And we say, oh, you're right. And then we go on and on and on, and we are so, wow, only you can understand me. Ever happened to you before? You found such a person, say, okay, you can talk and talk and talk, and you say, wow, we have so much in common. We have the same beliefs, we like the same things, drink, the same drinks, like the same movies, all those things. Ever met a person like that? Me neither. But the point is that I know I'm joking, but then my point is this. There's an analogy for that, okay? Okay? If you have wisdom, a person who has prajna wisdom, that's Buddhist wisdom, okay? Then this person understands there's no production, there's no extinction. So far, so good. This is sixth patriarch is like that. My master is another person who understands, who has prajna wisdom. He knows that there's no such a thing as production nor extinction. So that's how they relate to each other. They talk in that kind of language. So far, so good? Buddhist language, you will. Whereas the non-enlightened people, the people who have no wisdom, okay? Indulge me a little bit. I'm not trying to insult you, okay? But the people who have no wisdom, okay? Like a scientist. I told you to indulge me. I asked you to indulge me a little bit. Or an engineer who says, what are your facts? Where are your facts? Right? Show me the facts. Show me the proof. So what do? We say, you're right. Okay? There is a tree. There is production. There is extinction. Why? We like to lie to those people. Because that's the only thing they want to hear. Please indulge me. Bear with me. I'm trying to make a point here. If you talk to a Buddhist who has wisdom, you can talk to him forever and it's no problem whatsoever. They won't get afflicted. You call them, I don't like you. You say, I love you. Oh, that's nice. I hate you. Are you Republican? That kind of thing, and so forth. My point is that the Buddhists, they have this prajna wisdom where they understand and they can relate to each other. However, when they talk to the people who have no prajna wisdom, then they talk, there is production, there is extinction. Why? So that we have a chance to show you that it's only partial information. It's a temporary state called production extinction, like a timeline. On an infinite timeline, borrowing the example made earlier, infinite timeline, you pick a point, then there's an end point. Yes? It doesn't matter. Where you pick it, there's an end point. Okay? And that's the way it is. That's a fact. That's observable. That's a fact that these people call data points. Okay? So that's what you need to do. The Buddhists are very all-embracing. They don't say, the Catholics say, you don't know anything. I'm not talking to you anymore. The Buddhists are different, my friend. He said, I know you don't believe me. So let me tell you something you can understand, okay? And then and gradually show you where you can see the rest of the story. What you're only seeing now is the beginning of the story. Okay? Eventually, you see differently once you have wisdom. And the real wisdom is able to embrace the non-wisdom. That's part of wisdom. So the cynical people call it lying, but to the French, it's true. We love you. You are special. It's true in my heart. No, I'm pushing it. Okay. The point here is that as part of life is interesting because once you have wisdom, you can embrace everything. And that's what makes life fascinating. Okay? And that's true happiness. You are able to embrace everything, including the Christians. Nothing bothers you anymore. That's wisdom. That's happiness. So similar to the line of that the Korean person asked earlier, can I go to non-wisdom? No, it's not a mental thing. It's actually a state of awareness, of being that does not think. Because as soon as you think, you will be unhappy. The state of wisdom is lack of thinking. If there is no thinking, what happens? What is that called? Non-production. Non-extinction. See that? So we all started, the Buddhists, by the way, you Christian people, we Buddhists, all of us started with production and extinction just like you. And then we became Buddhists. Then we taught this secret on how to not produce anymore. Is that clear? There is no production is the end goal where you're going to be, but it begins with production. That's called what? The way. The pathways from production to non-production. This morning, we made fun of a white privileged people. And we said what? We certified a certain white person as being able to experience non-production. That's how important it is. Up to a certain point, he can experience non-production. That's why he doesn't believe us. How is it possible? Well, give it time, you understand. Yes, Jewel Mountain.
Jumi asks, I can see I am suffering from thinking, but I cannot cut off thoughts by thoughts. How can I cut off the thoughts? If I don't think, doesn't it cause troubles in my worldly life?
You will have a lot of trouble with your husband. Keep thinking. Okay? We can't help you, lady. We Americans, it's easy for us to go from thinking to non-thinking. Yeah? In the United States. Right, Brady? Who's Buddha over and over?
Thoughts is repeat who studies the Buddha over and over and over again.
I see. Okay. They Korean have the different Korean version of that. That thinking there is a part of production, and Chan meditation will bring you gradually to non-production. Then let me describe to you how it works. May I? And please do not tell my Chan classes. Is there a deal? Promise me, do not tell them, because I'm supposed to teach them. Okay? And so if I teach you and they said, where do you learn it from? So, okay. So here's what happens. This is part of Chan meditation. This is my proof to you. That's why this thing called the pathway to go from production to non-production. So far, so good? Okay? So, let me give the analogy of never mind. That's too political. Here's what happens. You have a lot of thoughts right now. That's a lot of productions. Are we okay? Are we on the same page? We're talking about us, right? We have a lot of productions. Right? What do we think of? Sang-wook, what do you think of? He says, leave me alone. Very good. That's production. Okay? She looks like she's from Mars. Don't make fun of her. Okay. The point here is that as you practice meditation and you improve, this is why when we teach you meditation, our objective, believe it or not, is not to give you knowledge. You notice, Master Hui Neng does not give knowledge to his pupils. What does he do? We've been through 8 chapters already. How does Master Hui Neng teach his pupils? Yes.
He has a style. He just wakes them up right then and there because he gets past the thinking mind, and the thinking mind is responsible for knowledge. So he gets right past it, straight to their Buddha nature, so they understand it directly.
Very good. Okay, too complicated. Old monk, how does the 6th Patriarch teach his pupils? We've been at this for 4 years now, 4 years plus. How does he teach his pupils?
A Di Đà Phật, theo con thấy thì những người nào có phước rồi thì họ cũng như thầy nói thì sáng đó, họ thắc mắc, họ suy nghĩ, họ bị những chuyện này chuyện kia, thì nó đủ duyên gặp ngài Lục Tổ chỉ ngay cho đó thì họ gỡ ngay cái khúc. Thật sự cũng phải lâu lắm chứ không phải mà trong một tích tắc mà cái người đó được liền. Chứ cô nào nãy bên đại hàng mới hỏi đó, rất là nhiều cái suy nghĩ, nhiều cái đau khổ. Rồi họ làm cái gì đó, họ đủ phước, đủ duyên gặp thầy hay gặp một người nào đó, hoặc là gặp Lục Tổ, gỡ một cái thì xong. Thì mình kêu là đốn ngộ, thật sự là cũng phải từ từ họ muốn giải quyết cái bệnh của họ, rồi họ tìm cách này cách khác.
Very good. Very Vietnamese. Go first.
Point out where they are stuck.
Point out where they're stuck. Very good. Jewel Mountain. No.
To drop their thoughts or something they are attached to.
Excellent. Anyone else? Give it a try. Blue.
He probably tells them what to do so they could do it.
Very good. He's becoming more Buddhist. Anyone else? Can I paraphrase everything, all the answers you gave me so far? Master Xianqi, would you like to paraphrase what you heard so far? No, okay. Anyone else? Anyone else would like to paraphrase what you heard so far? A summary of everything you heard so far, all the good answers. Yes, Blue.
Teaches us non-production so that we can receive wisdom.
Excellent. Give me something non-Buddhist words. Please don't use the word productions anymore because it's so Buddhist. I'm really a non-Buddhist at heart, you notice by now. Yes, Blue.
Breaks their thought, what they know, he shatters them. Everyone that comes to him.
Very good. It's getting close. Can I explain it to you in my own words? May I? Here's how the sixth Patriarch teaches all his disciples at various levels. Would you like to know? Joseph, would you like to know? Because you don't, I'm not going to say anything. He says no. Joseph says, no, I don't want to know. He's kidding? Huh? He's kidding? He wants to know? Mommy speaks for him? No. See, he says, no, I don't want to know. Leave me alone. Why do I need to know? I'm a kid. I'm going to give you kiddie stuff. Okay? It doesn't matter. This is, please do not tell my Chan classes, okay? Because I don't teach them like that. This is why they're going to complain and say, I'm out of here because Master has been wasting my time. Okay? Do not be fooled by the fact that all these people became enlightened and so forth after Master Hui Neng taught them and they became enlightened and so forth. Don't be fooled by that. He does the same exact thing to all of them, whether they're enlightened or not enlightened people. That's why I'm explaining this to you, because you're not enlightened, remember? That's why it's of interest to you. Okay? So how does he teach his pupils? Hey, disciple of Master YongHua, are you paying attention? Guarantee you that your teacher did not teach you this. Guaranteed. I'm bragging. And she's so quiet. Go ahead, sir. What does he do?
한마디로 진공묘유입니다.
진공묘유다.
It is a true emptiness and wonderful existence.
It has a nice ring to it. It's still Buddhist. So Buddhist. You are too Buddhist.
선사는 은사는 가르쳐주질 않습니다. 은사는 안에서 믿고 비밀의 안에서 구하라고 말씀하시고 네 자성부를 믿고 가다 보면 알게 된다고 이렇게 말씀을 하십니다. 그 이상 어떤 것도 가르쳐주질 않습니다. 지금 우리 마스터께서도 스님들이나 우리들에게 자세한 내용을 지금 가르쳐주지 않고 있는 겁니다. 다만 그 길만 안내는 것뿐입니다.
A teacher says you will find it inside yourself and rely on your self Buddha natures. And the teachers would not teach you in detail, just they will show you the way.
Right. Very good. Here's how the sixth patriarch does it. And I challenge you to go through the entire sutra and you see this. What does he say? He says, are you ready? Can I break into two parts? Buddhist part and non-Buddhist part. Will you bear with me? Buddhist part and non-Buddhist. All right? Yeah, Jewel Mountain answer.
Jewel Mountain says the patriarch helps those people stop thinking.
Who said that?
It's a Venerable Shannon.
Shannon, do we know her? Okay. He says, non-Buddhist part. You get it? You want translation? I can't translate better than that. Okay. Never mind about the Buddhist part. Non-Buddhist part, he says, cut it out! Stop thinking like that Korean person in Korea. Cut it out! Stop thinking like that. And it takes a person like Master Wei Neng to be able to do that. If you do that to Joseph, you, young man, you do it to Joseph, you know what's going to happen? What happened to Joseph? He disappeared, right? Because you say, Joseph, you talking to me? That's it. The conversation ends, right? But Master Wei Neng, and just, yeah, you're right. That's why it doesn't matter what he says, because you're so scared. that's the Buddhist part. You're so scared. He said, oh. And cut it out. And boom, your mind, gone. You like it? Huh? That's what he does. I challenge you to go back to all the previous chapters. That's what he does, each and every one of them. Each and every one of them. He yells at them. Xinjie, are you paying attention? See? Okay? And cut it out! Sometimes like that, sometimes, please cut it out. Don't be like that. Okay? When he did that, as this Korean non-entity said, you stop thinking like that. That is wisdom. Wisdom is to stop thinking at all. Does it help? So that's why the genius of the sixth patriarch, you see that? It doesn't matter what he says, but somehow he gets them to stop thinking wrongly like that. Yes, Cube.
Can you help enlighten people improve by help them stop thinking?
So what happened is that, truth be told, my Chan classes are not at that level yet. I can't yell at them, that's what I mean. If I yell at them, they run away. Okay? So Chan classes are very gentle and very nice. You remember, huh? MJ and Jim? You used to be so nice. And, oh, I like coming here. It feels so good. How did I stop that? Stop coming. Okay? Go on Sunday afternoon so you get yelled at. Okay? So, in conclusion, the progression of this training, if you will, in Mahayana, is as you get yelled at, because you have to get yelled at more often than not. Okay? As you get yelled at, you show what you're doing wrong. You stop what you're doing wrong. That's wisdom. So you have more wisdom by stopping thinking wrong thoughts. You stop thinking more wrong thoughts. That's more wisdom. More wrong thoughts, and so forth, and so forth. You like it? Pass the donation basket around, huh? We do have expenses at the temple. Yeah. Please, thank you. You got that? And that is so Buddhist. My point to you is that you go through the sixth Patriarch Sutra. People who stuck with the sixth patriarch eventually get yelled at. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Because basically Remainder says, cut it out. I told you to cut it out. How many times do I have to tell you? And when you stop thinking, that is, you're no longer producing those types of thoughts. You know this non-production of certain types of thoughts. That's wisdom. Questions, comments? Yes, Christian.
So basically, the non-production and the and whatever, or the and production and non-production, that's basically on your mind. Basically, you have to drop your thoughts.
Yes, sir.
So
What
it
it
has nothing
means.
to do with the tree. It has to do with your mind then.
Let me explain to you what it means, okay? In simple terms, okay? It's not the way you think. It's not like that at all. And when you have enough blessings, what happens? What happens? He becomes a Buddhist. No, I'm kidding. Please stay where you are. When you have enough blessings, all of a sudden, they say, you know, you're right. You know, you're right. But when you don't have enough blessings, say what? Really? Really? They fight you. They disagree, say, I disagree, you're wrong. But when you have blessings, you say, oh, you know, you're right. And that's what happens to all his disciples, all his students. They say, oops, you know, I've been thinking the wrong way all these years, all these decades. The point being that it doesn't matter how old you are, how smart you are, whether you're a genius, whether you are a huge success out there, whether you Warren Buffett, okay? When the time is right, when you have enough blessings, you will start thinking those thoughts. There's erroneous thoughts that stops you and that makes you miserable. And what happens is that, let me elaborate a little bit more for you. What happens is when you happen to stop those thoughts yourself, what happens? Something wonderful inside of you, this good feeling wells up inside of you, and you say, wow, you know? So you have confirmation that those thoughts are nonsense. That's your confirmation. That's how you become a believer. The believers in Buddhism is not intellectual. It's not because the mother said so, or the father said so, or the neighbor said so. Okay? The believers because they experience it. They said, wow, that is so special. And when it happens, you know what happens? You look at your beautiful wife again, and you say, wow, you're so wonderful. How come I didn't see these wonders in you before? And you appreciate your wife so a lot more. Brady likes it. There's hope, my friend. It's never too late. Okay? And when you are able to embrace your wife unconditionally as the way she is, you know what happens? She loves you so much more. You don't know what you're talking about, kid. We're talking about love. Okay? Isn't that beautiful? And that's Mahayana training. That's sudden teaching. The difference is that Master Huineng, when he gives you a sudden teaching, okay, depending on the skills of the teacher, he can make a leap. A person like Master Huineng can make you leap very, very high, very far. Okay? Whereas low-level people can't. Okay? Yeah. So, in summary, as you progress, as you receive more training, undergo more training, naturally you let go of those erroneous thoughts yourself. You yourself choose to let go of those thoughts that are redundant, that bind you, that make you miserable. When you're able to do that, you're free, you're happier, you're lighter, you're more likable. You realize that? Huh? You are more likable. We're not talking about Hinayana where you say, I'm better than you. I don't need you anymore. In Mahayana training, you're becoming so much more likable, so much more human, so much more patient, so much kinder, so much more compassionate, so much more fun, more real. Okay, has been real. Thank you all very much.